this footage that you're watching now was filmed at the store formerly known as Mesa Paintball Supply. They changed their name to AXC Tactical 2 years ago. And now instead of just selling paintball items, they sell firearm related items and as well as ammunition. So a lot of the things that they do there are custom firearm builds, but there's also tons of paint, markers, etc. They are fully loaded. A huge thank you to Mesa Paintball Supply, now known as AXC Tactical, for letting me film this video there. I also want to give a huge shout out to Chris and Derek for custom ordering me an LV 1.5. You guys might get a glimpse of it during this video, but down the road I have more in-depth coverage planned. So one of the major failings of the store side of the business was that we didn't have any teams shooting our paint. Our paint sales were abysmal. I would say maybe a little less than a handful of cases a week were sold, and you just can't survive with those numbers. So what Mesa Paintball does is they partner with divisional teams for an exclusive paint deal. I'm not going to talk numbers, but you want teams coming in every week buying paint in bulk. And usually, if you're smart, you can find a deal where you make money and the team gets a great price. At the field, we would have days where there were 0 players. Having a sponsored team there every weekend is a net positive for the paintball field and the paintball store. So we would get players, 1 or 2 players, and they'd see nobody was there. You know what they would do? They would get right back in their car and drive away and never come back. So the fact that we did not have a sponsored team representing us not only hurt paint sales, but it also hurt the field. That was just a critical mistake. I kept pushing for it. I even wrote out a sponsorship contract where we would make money, where the team would get better than normal pricing, but the owner just would not budge on that issue. How many markers do you think we sold a week? 20? No. 10? No. Maybe 2 on a good week, maybe 3. And those were just spiders and Titmans. The mid-end and the high-end markers sat there for weeks and weeks. It's really hard to sell a high-end marker at a paintball retail store because brick and mortar is under attack from a number of fronts. Raffles, these are enthusiasts who are ordering markers with dealer accounts, raffling them off, making more money than the MSRP, and that's just destroying marker sales at brick and mortar stores. There's also the used market, Facebook used market, PB Nation, BST. There are all sorts of ways, eBay, Craigslist, OfferUp. People are finding markers in non-traditional ways, and nobody is really going to the store anymore to buy a brand new gun. It sucks. So stores have to provide some sort of an experience, like, a maintenance plan, or, we'll tune your gun for you before you go. They have to do more to get back those sales from the internet. At the management level, one of the things that I had to do every time I showed up to the store was audit our inventory, make sure that nobody was stealing from the company. And yes, that's smart, but I feel that it was sort of a waste of time. For example, I remember we had a 200 pod order from Vulcan. The owner made me count every single pod in the order to make sure that Vulcan wasn't screwing us out of some, $2 pods. That seems like a waste of time. But I did catch a thief. We had a 9-volt battery thief. It might have been somebody who was teching markers for us, or maybe the refs or somebody. Every week we would have a hard count of our 9-volt batteries. And every week, sure enough, 2 or 3 were missing. Sometimes 5 went missing. So that was an interesting part of the retail experience, was the inventory counts and the audits. But instead of counting 200 pods, how about we market ourselves better? How about we do promotional videos? I feel that was an ineffective use of time. Do what you have to do to compete. And if that's building firearms and selling ammunition, or even expanding to other extreme sports like airsoft or skateboards or something like that, you have to do what it takes to stay relevant. You have to adapt to survive. And that's the moral of this video. That's the takeaway, is if you're gonna get into this, your numbers are not gonna look what you think they're gonna be. You're not gonna sell 30 guns a week. And the other side of it is that there are enthusiasts. Let's talk about your PB friend. This guy had a trade-in program that was super hype. Everybody loved it. But he was just an enthusiast. He didn't know how to run a business, and he fell behind on all of his orders, and people ended up getting scammed. So don't be that guy. Don't be the enthusiast who wants to just take their paintball love and turn it into money, because those enthusiasts are the ones who fall, and they fall hard, and they hurt people with them. If you guys like this story time format, give this video a like, If you guys want to see more of the storytime format, please consider subscribing. Thank you for your time. See you guys next time. See you later. See you don't want to be a. Later.